towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking, we're the walking, fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, in our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking, we're the walking.
Hi there, they call me the governor, and we are here once again to talk about the smelly felly, Daryl Dixon himself. Yes, Mr. Reedus, who I hope doesn't smell nearly as bad as his character does. But this week I am joined by a couple people right off the bat, which is better than last week. Last week, due to a number of things, people were just dropping left and right, couldn't show up, and then Busy saved me towards the end. So welcome back, Busy.
Busy. How you doing, man?
Say hey to say hi. Yeah.
Hello.
Say hi to everybody out there, because I can talk.
Nah, yeah. I mean, I saw you. I was like, I think in the middle of cooking, and I was like, hey, let's see how the chat's doing. And I joined, and you were by yourself. And I'm like, I'm so used to like 5 or 6 people being in here. So I was like, God, I gotta join because I feel bad. So I gotta come in, and it was a party, man. So it was great.
Yeah, party of two, but
Party of 2, man.
it was one of the most popular streams you've ever had, because
Yeah.
I think we were a little bit more to the point. Ms. Kayla, say hi to everyone. Thanks for joining.
Hi, everybody. You want me to promote myself too?
We can save that for the end,
Okay, all right. Well, hi, everybody.
All right, so well, last week, Bashan said her internet was not working very well, so she didn't want to join. Bebe wasn't able to make it. She had some stuff going on. She may be here at some point today, I'm hoping, but we don't know. Who else? Jazz couldn't make it. We got a tentative acceptance from Jack, and then he didn't show.
A whole lot of people just couldn't make it.
Busy was working, or not busy.
I'm like, I'm here, man.
That's because, you see, when I look up your emails to send out the invites, it's you, and then it's Big Bro. So
Okay.
You're very close together in the listing. So Tomaj couldn't make it. So yeah, and Alex was hadn't even seen the episode, and she was tired. So, and she's tonight at a cousin soccer game. How lame! Supporting family? What the hell is that about? I don't get it.
I'll never understand it either.
But
Arena.
yeah, we got some people in the chat. So Laura's here, North of 60, Cleo, Erica.
Karina has joined the panel. Hi, Karina.
Oh, Karina, awesome.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah.
The more the merrier. Excellent.
All right.
So say hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you okay.
We can hear you.
Say hi to the audience, because we just did that.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you in the chat.
Awesome.
Hello.
So we haven't even talked about the episode yet. So, and already we got 400% of the attendance that we had at the beginning of last week's chat. So
I watched the next day. I saw you guys. You did great, and it was good that Busy joined you. That was good too.
Yes.
Yes.
I was very appreciative of Busy joining, but I would have preferred to have a couple people more at the beginning, but we soldier on. We get it done. So
Indeed.
And what's funny, when I was writing the description of this panel, I was talking about how our dear friend Daryl and Laurent were on a nice little water cruise. And and I actually wrote that before I saw the episode, and then I saw the episode, and they were on a nice little water cruise. So that's how we start out, is Daryl on a water cruise. That was pretty good, and Laurent trying to catch flies, and
Yeah, I'm like, for the fact that he just got separated from the aunt he just figured out he seemed pretty like content. Like he was just smiling, listening to music, watching the bugs fly by. I'm like, at least someone's happy, man.
yeah, or maybe they gave him a little medication, that could have helped. I think he needs some, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we got a whole thing when it comes to Laurent. That kid was something else.
But yeah, and then of course Daryl is having a conversation with our pilot. What was his name?
Aslan, like the
Aslan?
lion.
like the lion and the Lion Witch and the Wardrobe. So
Yeah.
we could have been fighting the White Witch and had an endless winter and all that stuff, but then all the biters would be frozen. That would have been a whole different show. And of course he's like, I wonder how you got here. Cue the flashback. So
Much needed flashback.
as soon as he said that, I'm like, oh, this is the episode. Because they couldn't let us not know how he ended up, in in this situation without, they couldn't have done a series finale without letting us know how he got here. And this was the episode to find that out. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't purely flashback. It kept on going back and forth. So that was kind of a neat thing there.
I enjoyed that, the back and forth.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was cool. I mean, the fact that we finally got flashbacks in the first place got me excited. That was enough to draw my attention in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as soon as I saw the bike, I got all excited. Because we've barely seen a crossbow. We haven't seen a bike. And this is the Daryl Dixon show. And it's like, those are two of his signature things, which we haven't seen either of them. But I'm sure we'll get, like, him having a reunion in, like, the finale or something with at least a crossbow. But we'll see.
Well, but in this flashback, we got to see the bike and the crossbow.
Which was great.
And who didn't trust the guy who pulled up in the truck or in that little car?
Oh, of course. Immediately, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Like, I was confused with some of his dialogue at some points. He mentioned, like Daryl was like, "Oh, yeah, do you have any fuel or do you have anything that I can you can help me with?" And then he's like, "Oh, yeah, it depends on how good you are with that thing." And then when he looked at the crossbow, I thought it was like a challenge. Like, oh, if I come at you, if you're good with the crossbow, then you can have whatever I have. But like that's how I don't know what it was, but that's how I comprehended it. So I thought he was like saying that. But someone said the bike and the big ass knife. Yes, those are two things that really I identify with when it comes to Daryl Dixon.
Yeah, he had the knife ready to go, which understandable.
Yeah.
But luckily, the guy didn't step out of the car and have like a gun, because they still have those.
Right.
Yep.
Proper maintenance of your weapon, and you're all good. I need to refresh my chat stream because I'm seeing the countdown still in the chat stream. YouTube can be a little weird when it comes to this. Now that looks better.
There we go. But overall, man, I had so much fun with this episode, dude. I really did.
Oh, it was definitely good, though Laurent pissed me off, and we'll get to that. We'll get to it. But what happened after when we were introduced in the flashbacks, we were introduced to some of the new characters. And honestly, right away, when we were introduced to that kid, when it comes to this show, we know none of these characters are going to stick around. Like, we know, especially, like, it's a flashback. We knew he was probably going to die, and that was the disappointing part of it. But, well, at the very least, if they weren't with Daryl in France, it's unlikely that we would see them again. Or, season 2, he might run into his old buddies from hunting camp, But
yeah. Honestly, I was getting vibes from season 5. What were those dudes' names? It was the one that Rick got a whole bite.
The Claimers.
The Claimers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just seeing everyone with like crossbows and bows, I'm like, yo, that's the vibe I was getting. I was like, these are like Claimers 2.0. So, and the way that their rules were, with the fact that they sent both of them off of, that's going too ahead of things, but still, I was getting those vibes.
Yeah, it was interesting. No fighting was one of the rules. No
sexual deviance.
Sexual deviance, which I'm like, okay, what is this, like a mega camp? It's like, so what's no sexual deviance? If there was a woman hunter there, they could have sex with her, but just not guy on guy thing,
I feel like as long as it's consensual, they probably don't mind it. But I think like that's what it
Right.
was. Like anything that's non-consensual, I think is what they were
Right.
doing. Because like the
Yeah.
way they were talking about the kid later on when the kid was like, "Oh, I'll do anything. Let me be a part of your group." He's like, "Oh, anything?" And then the other one poked at him and he was like, "Oh yeah, well,
Like,
remember, no deviance." And it's like, okay, dude, really?
Well, I could see that as just, people joking around because you do that,
Yeah.
I mean, I've had male friends say, "I'll do anything to help out," and it's like, anything?
No, yeah, of
You
course,
can
of
kind of look
course.
at them, it's a normal thing to
I
kind
mean,
of.
are you friends if you're not making comments like that? I don't know.
right.
It's rare that friends don't just pick on each other, at least a little bit. But we know it
Yeah.
comes from a place of love.
Of
Yes.
course. That's how we show our affection.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're fucking weird.
Probably not the healthiest way, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but yeah, the kid, looking at the picture of the girl while sitting next to the guy. It's like I knew people like that in high school who'd be like looking at a picture of their girlfriend from Canada because they wanted to show off. Hey, I got this, hot chick that I'm dating. You don't know her. She goes to another school. I thought that was a little, yeah, not the best. It definitely showed his maturity level was not very, very high. It's like he just wanted to impress these people with the girl that he's got a picture of. And how does he got a picture of this girl? Does he have an Instamatic camera or something? It's like,
Well, I'm sure it's not too difficult to get pictures. I mean, I'm pretty sure Maggie had a picture with Len. And
It was a Polaroid.
yeah, so did he have a Polaroid? What was it?
I think it was a Polaroid.
Polaroid.
Yeah.
So if there's a zombie apocalypse, make sure that you invest in Polaroid. You're not going to be able to collect any of that money, but by all means, invest. When I mean invest, I mean buy a lot of cameras and film. 'Cause
Ayo,
you can
Tomasz.
sell those.
Tomosh says, "Hey fam, I'm on my drive back. Not sure if I will make it in time, but I'm listening. Awesome. Sorry I've been absent lately."
Yeah, well, he was the lieutenant governor for the trivia, so he put in a lot of work. So he can
Okay.
He
take a
did.
little
He
I was
time
scared
off.
you were gonna give him a demotion for a second.
Yeah.
We can't let you do that.
Well, if we do, okay, before we go on with the episode and talk about Isabelle and her, how shall we say, fatal
You gotta be
attraction
nice
type
about it.
stuff.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
She was worrying me, man. Like me and you talked about this last week too.
Yeah. But before we talk about that, there has been a proposal that we do a special trivia next month to commemorate the end of The Walking Dead. So it will be 1 year to the day after The Walking Dead ended, and that happens to be a Monday. So we're going to more than likely do that, and we're going to try to, I'm not going to say any names because, but I'm going to try to actually see if I can convince a cast member or two to join us for that one. But no promises. They may all be like, no can do. And it really depends on the strike. Because if the strike's still going on then,
Yeah.
there's no way.
Yeah.
But they are in talks now, so if the strike is over, we might be able to get somebody to show up. So that would be really nice. But no guarantees. We'll try. But,
I hope so.
Hope I'm off. Off work.
But hopefully it'll be a really fun trivia. So that'll be next month. Yeah. So let's get back to this episode. So we see the setup and the whole thing happening I'm not sure when they stopped showing the flashback, because I know they went back and then they showed, Daryl showing up that like group of hunters by bringing in like more bitas than they did. But
Oh yeah, that was cool. It just
All
really
alone.
shows like how he's in a league of his own. It was great.
Yep.
yep, and he would get a bunch of little sticks and shove them through the side of their mouths so that they couldn't bite. So that was pretty damn smart. which is amazing because it's Daryl. But no, he is very wood smart. He is very smart when it comes to hunting and dealing with biters and killing. So he's got that savvy. I'll give him that. Give him a book on physics, and he'd be like, "What the hell's this shit?" You know,
He'd use it to start a fire.
he'd probably tear out the pages, wipe his ass, that kind of thing.
Something like that. Yeah, sounds about right.
But so when we came back from the flashback, were we still with Daryl or with?
Bebe, where are you?
Is she in the chat?
She's in the
Yeah,
chat.
she's in chat.
Okay. She says she'll suck at trivia.
Aw.
At least.
She gets participation points. We'll start you off at 10 because it's still no threat to us.
Wow, someone is feeling sassy. So,
I'm
baby,
kidding.
you gonna join us? You got the link, so come on.
Yeah,
if
come
you,
join,
if you
baby.
can. So I'm trying to remember because I watched the episode, but as far as the order of things came in, he did a little flashback, and then they basically, docked the boat to camp out, and it was interesting because even though Laurent is like the Messiah, it's apparently not just like for Christians, because Aslan was Muslim.
It's Muslim. Yeah.
Which was, great that, and of course, Daryl doesn't give a shit because he's totally atheist. Yeah.
I was really interested to see how they would play out on that because Laurent, literally grew up in an area where, it's clear. Well, they did, now that I think about it, they did mention that, like, I'm pretty sure everyone there had multiple religions, right? It wasn't just one belief system. It was like whoever had, as long as you had a strong belief, you were welcome there.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I totally forgot about that when I was doing the reaction because part of me was like, I'm pretty sure they're just solely one religion. So I'm excited to see how Laurent would like react to someone else, because we had him like, he kept looking back at Aslan.
And,
Yeah, because he kept looking back at Aslan when Aslan was, praying. And it was like he was interested in what was going on. And I thought that was pretty cool. But I was interested to see, how he was going to react to it, and what he was going to say and different things like that.
Well, according to Laurent, Daryl doesn't know how to pray, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's constantly coming at Daryl for not like believing or not taking, I guess, God's word or whatever the hell it is. But Daryl's just like, yeah, he just wants to survive. I forget what the words he used was, but it was funny. He's just there to be there.
But yeah, so let's talk about Isabelle and her new courtship with
Dude.
with that dude. What's his name again? I keep
Quinn.
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 I remembered this time. Yep.
Oh, there we go. I just again got to readjust and think of Quinn from Dexter, but this guy is. I don't know, but I guess they're about equally slimy because Quinn was on the take at some points, and.
No, I really enjoyed that. I don't want to dive too big into spoilers, but it was just really cool to see like how big or how like far the rebellion, I guess, goes. And like I was just really scared because we're in a situation like we're in a huge ass mansion. So I thought that was pretty cool in the first place, but I was just really cautious on what was going to go down.
Yeah.
That's a big ass home. So I didn't know what was going to happen. But it was extremely
and
interesting.
Quinn appears to be English, so the English usually go in and they take the best of a country that's left over. And,
Yikes.
I'm half British myself, so I can make fun. That's our word. Limey is our word.
Your word?
Limey is our word. Yeah, so he's a silly limey. But yeah, he went in. He's got this huge mansion. He's got servants, guards, and everything. He's a big man on campus.
He's living good, yeah.
And you look outside and you don't see any biters around. It's like, see armed guards, but you'd see that nowadays probably. So she was like, I guess he was trying to woo her with also the fact that, he's got everything. But
Yep.
I mean, she was just a nun for how long? So
12 years, yeah. And it seemed like
12
he
years
was
a
willing.
nun. That should be a movie.
He seemed like he was willing to be patient too, because like I don't know if he like truly believes that they had something and he wants to have that again, but he was like, I can be patient if that's what you want. Like it's like, dude, like what she wants is for you not to be here anymore. She wants
Exactly.
you to meet God before she does. Like that's what she wants, bro.
Well, he doesn't seem like a total douchebag because he had.
Well, that's because
every...
he's like he wants her. He's not a good man. I mean, he's just doing what he can to get what he wants.
Exactly.
He's manipulating her.
Right.
I mean,
Preach.
nah, he's not a good
He's
dude.
like a cat, just very mercenary, right?
Nah, he's trying to be super soft spoken. He's trying to act like something he's not. But as soon as like, because it's like he did this before in the first episode. Like he was manipulating her into dropping off her sister and her pregnant sister, and was trying to
Yes.
make it sound like it was in their best interest. When at the end of the day, it was just because he didn't want them around. I mean, that was he,
Well-
and he knew that was his kid.
Yes.
He's not a good man. He's just manipulative as as shit.
No,
I mean,
he's not a good man. But in that flashback that we saw him in the first time, though, he could have been stupid because he didn't seem to realize that she was pregnant, just that she was sick.
Okay.
Because suddenly he's like, now that he found out that she was pregnant and had the child, he's like, oh well, I'm the daddy. You would think he would have known that back then.
I feel like he did know that. I think it was just like all about circumstance or just the way the dialogue. I want to go back and watch it again just to double check. But it's like the same thing when he was talking about leaving the sister behind. Honestly, I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, maybe he's just trying to like leave her behind. And yeah, it is a douche move, but it's still not, as serious until you find out that that's his kid she's holding.
Right, but if
You know
he
what I'm
thought
saying?
she was actually ill, or even if he realized that she was pregnant, he realized that where they were going, they didn't have facilities to really help with the birth. So it could have been like, he might have honestly felt that this was a temporary situation, didn't realize the entire world was going to end. And if they got her into a good hospital, she might actually be better off. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm not saying
No,
that
that's not the way I
that
saw it, but I
his-
definitely could
his-
understand that.
I'm not saying his motivations were that pure, but from a logical viewpoint, without knowing that this is the end of the world,
No, yeah.
it could be that he was like, even if he knew she was pregnant, he's like, well, let's get her to a hospital where they can actually, give her a, do right by her. And if they followed her plan, she might not have gotten bit right away until later on.
But didn't he recommend they leave her at that convenience store? Wasn't that one of the places he thought?
No,
and
he
literally
said,
got overran
he said,
immediately.
We'll drop her off at a hospital or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, "We'll find somewhere."
Yeah.
Nah,
Well,
yeah.
where is somewhere? And as soon as they would have pulled into any hospital, it would have been complete chaos. So that would have been a place to leave her anyway.
But then
Yeah.
again, he probably. I mean, you could use as an argument that he didn't know how bad things were going to be. But at the end of the day, I mean, the fact that he knew that there was a possibility she was carrying the kid. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking things. I just don't like him. I don't think I will.
No,
He is like a scumbag con artist.
Mm-hmm.
But I almost got the impression, because she found a nice little makeshift weapon and was going to do him in. Brought him over to the bed and everything.
Hey.
And he was not on guard to that. She could have just... There's
friend.
Bebe. Welcome.
How you doing, pal?
Well, I wasn't gonna come on here because I did send you a message
I hadn't
Lovely.
seen it because...
saying that I wasn't going to attend because I'm just tired and about to watch my Halloween movie, but I can put that off.
Halloween
okay.
movies. What are you watching?
For today is Fender Bender.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I have no idea what the hell that is.
yeah. Nobody knows that because it came out 2016. It's very simple.
It's a deep cut.
So It's kind of slasher, but the score is awesome. Got that 80s feel type of score, and I love it. I enjoyed
This
it.
is off topic, but I saw that they're making a Thanksgiving horror movie,
Oh,
and it
no.
kind of
What?
it kind of
What?
I saw
yeah
that, but I was like,
yeah, it looks goofy, but then again, Silent Night looked, or no, what was it? What was the David Harbour Santa Claus movie? Forget what it was
was it
called.
Silent
Oh,
Night?
I think it was Silent Night, but that was like one of my favorite movies, man.
No,
My
no, it
favorite
wasn't
Christmas movie.
Silent Night. It was
What
Violent
was
Night.
Violent Night. Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That
Yeah.
was became my favorite Christmas movie. Just,
Oh,
like,
that was an awesome movie.
that looked like an SNL skit. When I watched the trailer, it looked like an SNL skit. Ended up being amazing. So I kind of want to watch the Thanksgiving one just because of that.
I'd be curious to see that. I just recently rewatched Fright Night,
Okay.
oh, Fright Night. Which one?
the original,
Okay,
not
yeah.
the reboot piece of crap.
How old
What?
is
I
that?
like the reboot. I like the reboot.
The reboot isn't horrible, but if you didn't have the original to compare it to, it would
Yeah,
be a much better
Yeah.
movie.
I agree. I like the original too. They don't give Chris
And I did like,
Sarandon.
I did like Chris's cameo in the reboot.
So short, so short. But anyway, how y'all doing?
Good.
All
Good.
right.
I could talk Fright Night just on when I was talking to Chris at a con. He said that when he did that cameo and his character gets killed, okay, by the
Spoilers.
vampire. Spoilers. He is one of the victims of the vampires, but he felt it was symbolic of him, passing that on,
Mm-hmm.
to the other actors. So,
Colin Farrell.
yeah, Colin Farrell.
I watch too much
Bullseye.
TV. I watch too much TV.
But yeah, so getting back to the episode, yeah, he's a scumbag. Isabelle almost knifed him right in the throat,
Nice.
and that could have been that could have been a fun thing, but I think the old Isabelle wouldn't have hesitated.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
But I think her, being a nun for all this time, becoming a nun at the convent, she's not the same person anymore. But yeah, do you think she was sincere later on when she's like, let's just start over?
No.
Not at
No.
all.
Mm-mm.
She just wanted
Was
to.
was that before or after she ended up not deciding to kill him?
After.
That was after.
Okay, no,
But-
I
Just
think
trying to buy
no.
time.
What that was because she ended up reading the letter, with the eggs. Remember how she got that
Yes.
note?
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
that's when she changed her entire opinion, because I think that's when she realized those people were gonna end up being at the whatever dungeon whatever the hell that was.
Right. And she
Right.
wanted to get there. So
Because
she had
her
When
entire
Jeanette-
mood
night.
changed.
She found out.
Because she
Jeanette
literally had the
that.
blade to her, she was not in that headspace until that lady walked in.
My bad. My bad.
Yes.
So, yeah, she totally switched up as soon as she saw that note. So that makes sense why she was, talking like that, because she wanted him, because he was gonna go without her because he didn't trust her, outside of the mansion. But as soon as he said,
I don't necessarily think that he doesn't trust her, but he didn't think that she would want to go.
nah, I
know.
assumed it's because he just thought she was gonna end up leaving, or he didn't. I thought it was because he isn't fully confident in her, in her.
There might have been a
loyalty.
little bit of that, but I think it was more like, this is the business that he's got to go do. He doesn't see a reason to bring her to such a place, but now she's kind of offering to start over and be more of a partner. And he's like, all right, I'll take you as my date. Why not? I'll show off this this nun that I'm going to be banging.
There has to
I
be a
don't
better
know,
way to
man.
say
Because
that,
when you
Kyle.
recited that poem, when you recited that scripture, with Abraham and all that kind of stuff, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I feel like he kind of manipulated her in a way,
He
like
did.
Oh, yeah.
like he knows what she was going to do, so he had to throw at that scripture, so it
Yeah.
hits her, and she was like,
Nah, he knows
Oh.
what you got to give him that. He might be a bastard manipulator, but he's good at it. I'm sorry, but
He's good.
you gotta
Take pride
applaud
in
the
your
man.
trade.
Yeah, take pride, man. You gotta applaud him for being good at it, at least. Like, because if he was just a bad liar, it'd just be hard to watch. But he's just like, nah. I feel like weirdo for applauding how good at it he is, but he's different. He's different.
We got a few people in the chat.
But he's too confident because the thing is, Isabella's good too. She understands what's happening.
Yeah.
So she's not gonna fall victim to it. But it's
Yeah.
kind of funny how confident he is. So he thinks like she's fallen into his hand, but at the end of the day, she's taking advantage of his resources.
Absolutely.
That's what
Yeah.
you got to do.
Yeah.
And I think her turning away from him, I don't necessarily know that he realized that she had a weapon. And Cleo says she was surprised that Izzy had it in her to make a weapon. But when she turned away, I don't think he realized how close he had come to death. But I
thought he did for a second.
But I think if she was actually just trying to manipulate him to thinking that he had a chance, that was a good move, because if she was too eager to jump into bed with him, and didn't have some reservations, he'd be very suspicious and would not trust her. But her turning away, even though it was because she decided not to kill him, if he thought it was because it was going too fast, I think that made him more likely to think that that his charms are working.
Someone said Norman Reedus is going to New York Comic Con.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, am I spending a bag? Yo,
Do it.
what?
He's cool as fuck.
Yeah, I'm.
Because you're going to New York, right?
Yeah, no Walking Dead people were going, bro. I'm wasting a bag. Whoa. When did this happen? Sorry, you can continue.
So, well, Norman's going to New York Comic Con. I haven't looked up anything.
Since when?
A couple of days ago.
Bro, I looked up the guest yesterday. I did not see him.
Yeah, it's been all over
I saw
Twitter.
I saw it on Instagram.
Bro.
Somebody's story.
Yeah, I know they resumed talks, but there's nothing, and they're expressing optimism, but there's nothing that says that the strike is over. So I was like, is the strike over? Is that why he's going now? But the strike is over. Cleo says the strike is over.
No, the writer's
writers.
strike is over, but not the actors.
The actors'
Yes.
strike is a whole different animal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I do not see him on the
2-hour panel
autograph
with Norman
list.
Reedus, Gimple,
Wait,
Zabel,
what?
and Nicotero.
Okay, so I'm going to that 100%. What day is it?
I have
You know?
no idea. Don't ask me.
I'm only
not-
going on Saturday and Friday. Oh, I'm panicking, brother.
Well, I am not going, so enjoy.
I appreciate
All right.
it.
So
Okay.
that was a divergence into Norman land.
Yes, sir.
Now let's get back into Daryl land. So, yeah, I think they're two master manipulators working on each other. Because even though Izzy's now a nun, she was quite the manipulator in the old days. I mean, we just saw a glimpse of it, but her going from person to person and ripping them off, yeah.
I mean, you have to play a manipulator, even if
And
you
it's
not
Thursday.
like a,
Fuck.
even if you like not like a manipulator by heart. It's kind of like when you sense somebody manipulate you, you be manipulating, you didn't see it. Now it's kind of like you got to play the manipulator now. How much it hurts, but yeah. But Izzy, she's kind of like Dag. When she cried, like Dag, he gonna see through my shit. Now I gotta manipulate him. I gotta be like 5 steps ahead of him because he would guess question everything that I do. So it's kind of like, okay, if he finds out if I did this, what can I do so he won't even think that all games and lies and deceit. I love it. I'm nice though. I'm nice.
Well, in real life, if I feel someone trying to manipulate me, I generally just cut ties. I don't try to turn it around on them just because
if you
Yeah,
want
this is
answers,
real
yes, you do.
life.
I don't want.
This is real life.
I mean, if I was in an apocalypse and needed something from that person,
Yeah.
I would probably manipulate right back. So I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong or unrealistic.
If you want
But-
answers, yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you want answers, yes, you
Answers for what?
do. Anything. Either like even if you think that somebody had killed your family member or something like
Yo.
that.
Okay, you're
No,
going.
no. I know. I'm saying. What I'm saying. No,
We
or,
taking a
no, or
dark
any-
turn, baby.
Is
No, or
there
any-
some
or-
dark secret in your past you want to share
No,
with the
no.
rest
If
of the
there's somebody
audience?
like either kill somebody in your family or either steal something and whatnot, you suspected that person to do it. You know, sometimes you gotta like be that manipulated, kind of like because you know they're gonna slip. Okay, so if they think that you are dumb by trade, which you're not, you know, you kind of like, okay, you gotta play like you're dumb because they think that you're dumb.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I
So
gotcha.
it's kind of like, oh, so it's him,
Well-
it's her, it's yeah. Sometimes you got to do that. So you
Yeah,
can get
I
the
get it.
Nobody though. I have to say, in real life, has
In real
killed a
life,
family member or stolen something that that I want to get into some kind of manipulation thing to
You're quick to assume, man. No, clearly, baby has.
No,
you
I
know,
mean that's.
I can understand that kind of motivation, though. It's just I'm just saying, in real life, someone tries to manipulate me, I usually just cut them loose. You know,
Oh well.
if they've done something bad to me,
Yeah.
I'll try to figure out a way to get that issue addressed. But
Okay, have y'all heard of character Medea?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's like if the answer to the first question doesn't match, then they did it. Point blank. Period.
Okay.
No, there ain't no manipulation. You don't have to play manipulation. Just ask a question. If it doesn't fit for the first time, they did it. So
Okay.
Quinn did it.
well, life lessons learned from Medea. So, all right. So let's get back to Daryl. So he's teaching Laurent how to clean fish. Basically, Laurent caught a fish, and then he's like, "I can't eat that." And Norman's like, "Well," Daryl's like, "You damn right you can. I think God will forgive you."
Yep.
Besides, there's animals, and then, he could be pescatarian. He doesn't have to be, vegetarian. Who is he, Aang? See the Avatar? He's the last airbender? Come on. So Daryl is trying to teach this boy how to be self-sufficient, clean fish, do things he might not want to do, but he's being a dad with a little bit of tough love. What do you think of those interactions, guys?
Last of Us.
A little bit of
Bruh.
Last of Us.
That's the vibe I got later on when we had
Yeah.
that literally, bro, was ripped from it.
I think it's cool because really and truly, Laurent is basically in the same place as Daryl was.
Laurent is Ellie.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like you seeing how Daryl was when he, in a way, like how he had to be self-sufficient if he was a boy, in a way, because Laurent and Daryl are like right here. So I don't know how to explain it, but I think it's kind of cool, kind of like, if like it's almost like with Alexandria, because they be so oblivious about the world out there and they had to teach them how to survive. So it's kind of like you doing that with Laurent.
I have a feeling Merle also kind of taught Daryl, little tough love. This is how you survive, little brother.
So it's like full circle in a way. It's like
Yeah.
like history repeats itself when it comes to Daryl and Laurent. So I liked it.
Yeah, and we got more flashbacks. All right, I think keeping track of when the flashbacks were is going to be tough, but so let's talk about the flashbacks, and we'll get back to talking about Izzy, and then we'll get into the current timeline, Daryl. All right, so we already started talking about the flashbacks and the whole bag some bitas for fuel shit.
I think we're caught up with the radio, right?
We haven't gotten to the radio yet.
I think that's
But
we're there now, right?
But yes, well, first of all, he's got the kid who wants to show everyone, oh, don't I have such a cute girlfriend?
That poor kid.
That poor kid.
He
and
was
he's
so
like,
weak, poor baby.
and it's like, do you think you need a
It was so
partner?
weak.
And Daryl's like, you think I need help? I just outperformed.
Nah, he
that
pitched it
group of
completely
three.
wrong. The thing is, it just seemed like he wasn't built for it. Because I mean, the way he pitched it, I mean, if you're gonna be overly confident to someone that clearly doesn't need it, then you're obviously going the wrong route. But if you go the route where you're like kind of like begging for it, then you're gonna be in the situation that got you killed. You
Yeah.
know? And it's like, so clearly there wasn't any. I think that the best chance he had was just to bite the bullet and go back to his girl empty-handed. Like they
That's
were
what Daryl
mad.
told him to do.
Yeah, they were like, oh yeah, like she doesn't. Her dad doesn't let her out, or like, he keeps her safe. Like God forbid your father keeps you safe, right? Like they were complaining about that. So he was gonna try to get her away and bring her to California, which obviously wasn't the best option.
Right. And it's like, you're not going to get enough fuel. I mean, what are you going to get? A couple gas cans worth of fuel? And are the roads going to be passable? Are you going to run into some radiation in Texas if you go the lower state route? I mean, he's up in Maine, which I have to say that was a cool bait and switch by AMC to show us that this season. In one of the previews, he said, I'm up in Maine by the coast, and we're all thinking, oh, he got back to Maine. No, he fucking didn't. This is where he came from.
This is where it started, yeah.
That was, but yeah. So the kid's being annoying, and then he can't even chop firewood, and Daryl shows him how. But then he's like, and I think Daryl likes being a teacher a little bit.
Yeah, he does.
But then he's like, oh, they got a radio. Maybe I can call home. And we actually got to hear Carol's voice. She was
Yes.
listed as a guest star because of her vocal presence.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a cool treat. I mean, like I knew we weren't going to be getting her, in the season, but to just hear her voice and to know that they're kind of integrating it or having her involved somehow was a plus to me. You know?
I do have to wonder if maybe they actually shot that scene like later. I don't know when Melissa decided she was going to join the series. But if they had already finished shooting, they might have added that scene just to kind of be like, well, let's include you in this one, just to kind of give people, a treat and confirm that you'll be back. And then at the end, she's like, shh, came back. He's like, who came back? And everyone's going out of their minds thinking, it's Rick. It's Rick came back.
That was like my first thought.
It has to be.
I mean, it's just a lot of people are making valid points. Like, unless she's in some type of predicament right now, like the way she was responding to it, like not too excited or whatever. I just want to know what was going on. But I know, in season 2 we'll get that answer.
Yeah.
But don't you think she would have led with, hey, Daryl,
Yeah.
the person you consider your brother?
The person that isn't that the reason why he's out and about?
You don't have to look around anymore because he came
Yeah.
back.
Like literally, isn't that the reason he's out looking?
He
Like,
said
it's
he would
because-
find them.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he's out looking for Rick.
And wouldn't Carol say Rick and Michonne came back?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know.
There
I'm just
was
so
a-
confused with the whole thing.
There was a
Or
poll.
Rick came back and Michonne.
Yes.
Or Michonne found
See,
him.
there was a poll on Twitter asking who came back. And I'm going to agree with Jack on this. I think it's Morgan.
That would
be good.
honestly, that would make sense. That way, like if they ended up saying that, like even in like it would make sense. So, like if we have Rick and Michonne and we get some type of reunion at the end of the Rick and Michonne show, it would explain why Morgan's there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just throwing him there without any explanation, at least they would have a mention of like Carol saying in the beginning of season 2, or if the radio ends up working at the end of season 1, she's like, yeah, Morgan's back. And he's at, the Commonwealth. That way, if Rick and Michonne do have the reunion, it would make sense he's there,
Because what was the what was like the years in Fear of the Walking Dead? Like how old is baby Morgan? Like 12, 10, 12, what? 10, 12, 11, or
I
what
think
have around that age.
the final season, what we've seen so far in Fear is pretty close to
Yeah, they caught
current
up.
timeline.
Yeah.
So
they caught up.
so I'm just thinking it has to be Morgan because it
Yeah, Morgan
like
makes
it's-
sense, and it's also would make sense that, I mean, Daryl knows Morgan, and that would make more sense for her to wait until the end to say, "Oh, by the way, Morgan came back,"
Yeah.
because she wouldn't be like, "Oh, by the way, the guy you've been looking for came back." I don't
Literally,
think it's
yeah. The guy that's been gone for fucking 10 years is magically back, and he's not actually dead.
Yeah.
Let's say that with monotone, like with no tone in our voice whatsoever.
Yeah.
But someone did say that maybe like the CRM, found like got them, so maybe they're like in a bad situation. But I'm like, I doubt they do all that extra stuff, especially if we're not going to deal with every character involved that's still alive.
Well, the
'Cause-
CRM taking over the Commonwealth would be a big nut to crack. That would, the Commonwealth isn't this little university campus like in the world beyond.
But yeah, but the CRM got like, didn't they have like 100,000 soldiers at one point?
I'm not sure how many they have. I didn't
Yeah.
hear any numbers. And to be honest, I haven't continued yet with World Beyond. I watched the first episode of season 2, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna need to.
Yeah.
take
It
this in
wasn't
small doses.
soldiers.
Some-
it was people.
Yes, someone's saying Dwight, and I feel like, although I don't think that's the case, I feel like with the way her tone was, that would make the most sense because she knows that he told him not to come back. So I feel like if anything, that would make the most
Oh,
sense.
man,
But
that would be-
obviously, I don't
Does
think
make
that's the
sense.
case.
Well, it could be Morgan. Dwight is another possibility because she'd be like, "Oh, Dwight came back. You want to kill him?"
Yeah.
Or is that grudge like long gone? So yeah, it's either Morgan or Dwight. It can't be Rick, and I think they did that on purpose to make people speculate that it's Rick is back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I gotta wonder. I mean, they're not gonna have recurring roles, but are we gonna see any of our Commonwealth Alexandria people in some of these spin-offs just for a guest starring role? Last time I saw Ross, he still looks, he's still got the beard, so he could he could still be Aaron, or they can
Yeah.
put a fake beard on him if they need to. So I don't know. So yeah, so he gets the radio, and then he's just continuing gathering up Bitas and getting more fuel, and then the hunts, those other guys come back, and they've got that poor kid in tow as a Bita.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I call foul play.
Oh
mean,
yes.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I think that hunter should have said, I don't know, we found him. It's a shame, but I wasn't gonna let him. He could have phrased it a little more differently, because we all know from the lineup with Negan that Daryl often thinks with his fists before he thinks with his brain. So, and apparently that no fighting rule is very strict.
Thanks for the roses, Superman. Unrelated. Continue.
Superman's giving you roses? Sheesh.
Yes, I'm Lois Lane.
I thought that was something new. Is that what they're calling super chats nowadays?
On TikTok, yeah. Back at it. Let's go.
All right. So, gets into the fight, and then we get to see him dragged away with the other guy. I thought they were, no fighting. I didn't think that because they fought that they would be, like locked up. I thought no
Yeah.
fighting meant you're just out of here. We don't tolerate that shit. Grab your shit and go.
Yeah, I was confused too.
I mean,
'cause-
honestly, in this world, I wasn't surprised that was the go-to, but I mean, I don't know. They're
Well,
sick
yeah,
bastards.
I was confused because it's like no fighting rule. Then they quickly went to the next scene. They getting locked up. I'm like, wait, I thought they were gonna get kicked out. It's like, really? This is.
I mean,
how it
maybe the
goes?
guy didn't know what was going on with them, but it's clear, of course, the guy in the beginning of the episode, the one that they were getting the walkers for, is part of the group that
Right.
you know, like that's the guy that was doing the experiments on the walkers in like episode I think 2 or 3. So
Well, yeah,
that's the
that's why
same
they
guy.
showed that flashback. But
Yeah. So it's like I mean, maybe they ended up managing to get Daryl and the other guy, you know, without that the big guy knowing, but I mean, it was clear that they had other plans for them. They wanted a fresh walker to do what they were experimenting with. But it's crazy.
and then they used the oldest trick in the book to escape.
Yeah.
My cellmate is sick, but of course, in
It worked.
in
It
this
worked.
world, you know, if your cellmate dies, they turn into a biter, and then you know, you got a problem on your hands. So, I thought their test was a little effective, but you know, apparently Daryl was prepared to get kicked in the gut.
That was tough.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if Alex was here right now. She'd be like, they need to stop, you know, messing with Daryl. Stop hitting him. Stop kicking him. That's my man.
That's the show,
I
though.
love
You know, he's gonna get punched. He's gonna get thrown in with biters. He's gonna, you know, all kinds
Gotta
of
take the
stuff gonna happen
punches.
to this guy. And
Getting-
but I will say that was resourceful of him, and he played it well enough that they were pretty lax in guarding him when they were going to throw him down with the biters, and then he could make his move. Which I was thinking he was going to grab them both and toss them into the biter pit like all at once, but
Child, you got to be a Hulk to do that, right? I mean, unless Daryl's that strong. I mean, I would love to see that, but
it wouldn't have been that difficult. I mean, they're both standing next to him. He reaches up, grabs him by the collar, and just gets him off balance. That could have worked.
Mm-hmm.
But at least he got his vest back. Maybe that's why he didn't throw that guy in, because he was wearing his vest.
Yeah.
oh, that
Yeah.
is right.
Mhm.
I keep forgetting they took the vest off.
Yeah. Well, the guy did say
That guy,
thank
he
you.
like threw it in his face too.
He
Yeah,
did
he
say
was like,
thank you.
He's like, yeah, appreciate it,
It
man.
was a polite, you know.
Oh, that's what he
asshole
said.
terrorist.
Yeah.
Merci.
Something wrong with my hearing, because good thing I did not hear that, because then I will yell at the TV screen. It's like, what are you even talking about?
Nah, yeah, he was
Appreciate-
shoving it in his face, bro.
No.
Like he knows this guy's gonna die. So why don't I rub that I took your jacket from you?
Oh,
Yeah, I like this
Animals.
vest. It's got mismatching wings, but I'll take it. Merci. And be on my way. There you go. But yeah, he got his vest back, and a lot of people realized he hated to be separated from that vest, and they love that. Though, I mean, when you're fighting for your life and you're trying to escape, I mean, it didn't take him that long, but really, that was a priority. I would have been like, if it's going to save me 10 seconds, I'm going to say fuck the vest and just get out of there.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
But that's just me. I'm not quite as sentimentally attached. Now, if it was my cat, you gotta fucking know I'd be grabbing my cat. But, you
Oh, am I mean to say I will leave that cat too?
Damn.
know. Well, that's why.
You don't want
If
emergency?
you ever meet Sky, she's gonna scratch your eyes out. So you know.
That's what happened to his right eye.
I probably would.
Well, you see,
If
some
a man
people
punches-
get shards of glass from an aquarium put in their eye, and some people, you know, get a cat taking their eye. You know, like my buddy in the One Eye Club, Nick Fury. You know, so yeah, you got to watch out for those cats.
Oh yeah, okay. I've been scratched by one.
Oh, I got
That ain't
scratches
cute.
and scars all over me from cats, and they don't even mean to do it. But the yeah, so he managed to get out. At that point, it was just him and the guy that he punched left, but he tried to save him.
Mm-hmm.
But that was definitely a variant walker coming up the stairs, because he's like
Yes.
he's climbing, and he was moving
wish
so
he could.
fast.
My
So-
wish came true. that's what I said. That's the type of walking that I'm talking about. Just going at him, whatnot, and but still at the same time I'm scared. I'm like, no. Like, heck no. That's too fast for me, but I love it. But
Those
I don't
were
even know
World
why
War
Daryl
Z
wanna
fighters.
I don't know why Daryl wanna hit it. You know, I'm like, I don't have time to hit. I'm gonna jump off anyway. So you know, because I know there's a flash between that and you know, him had to face off a walker in that pit, right? You know, that flashback,
Yeah.
you know, back and forth. Yeah. But that walker came up the steps, slice that dude. Yeah, I like it. You know, I'm a horror fan, so okay. I love it. That's what I want.
That thing
But
had
just to
zombie
come
strength.
up, just looking at Daryl and Daryl wanted to hit. Why? Just jump off. Okay. Don't be a hero. I don't like when people being a hero. That's blasphemy to me. So
Well,
that's how I feel.
He gave it a good smash, and that smash that he gave it the first time would have probably taken out another biter.
Okay, one time that's enough.
Well,
Don't
that's
try
why
it
he
again.
did it the one time, and then he jumped. Yeah.
That's true. But I wouldn't pick that thing up or try it or anything. I just like shoot and jump. But you know, he wants to try. Like, oh no, I can't do it anymore.
Well, jumping down and possibly landing it. I mean, it kind of. He got away, but I'm sure he would have rather, you know, climbed down the rope or something rather than jumped all that distance.
Man,
But still.
I've seen Titanic. That ain't cool.
Oh, I saw Titanic. I saw people, you know, falling and bouncing off the friggin' rotors.
Yeah, that's why I get scared. I'm like, I don't know.
You don't want to go through that.
No. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, Winterfire says I was leaning more towards the infected from 28 Days Later. I kind of.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I was also thinking 28 Days Later, but those.
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been wanting.
But this is like World War Z. I think it's a little closer to World War Z.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that. It was cool to see that particular beta. It's like Daryl already knew about the climbers. And, you know, but this one was a bit more than that because it was just, you know, much more aggressive.
Yes.
So, but that solves how he got away and why he, you know.
Yeah, about time, dude. Took 5 episodes.
Yeah. Well, they weren't going to take 6. They weren't going to save it for the finale. The finale is going to be pure action and trying to wrap up all these storylines.
Yeah. I'm gonna be so late to watch it. I hate it.
Well, don't worry. I will make sure I send you a whole bunch of spoilers.
Appreciate it, man.
Not a problem. Anytime. Can you imagine that serum in the Walker King from Dead City? Yeah, that'd be sick. The one with all the arms and they would have need to use a serum on multiple parts of that body though, because it was separate walkers spliced together.
Right.
So the flashback is on Isabelle. You know, we already kind of spoke a lot about her. You know, after she failed to kill Quinn, she was almost going to kill herself. And then, you know, got the note. And I think the note probably said something like, you know, they know where they are or they've captured Daryl, that kind of thing.
I think the note was letting her know that Sylvie and Emil and the rest of them were going to be
there,
at that
yeah.
event. So that's why she decided to play nice with Quinn so that she could also get there as
That's
well.
what I
That
assumed.
could
That's
be
why.
it, yeah.
That's what I assumed because her attitude immediately switched
Yes.
up after she read that note.
Yes.
And I mean, I
And
just
she
assumed.
and she saw Sylvie and Emil, and Sylvie nodded her head when she drove by. So
Because she didn't expect Daryl to be there, so I know.
but
it
she
had
didn't
nothing to do with
expect Daryl. Correct.
Because she was shocked when she saw Daryl.
Yeah.
I don't think she looked too shocked when she saw Sylvie. At least I don't remember her being.
In
No,
fact,
she didn't.
she couldn't react because she didn't want to give the game away.
No, the note.
That makes a lot
I
more
think
sense.
the note said that Sylvie and Emil were going to be there, and everybody else, you know, from that little group.
That makes a lot more sense. Well, Well, speaking of Daryl ending up there, so back to Daryl and his teaching moments with Laurent. They're asleep. A beta comes to their tent, and Daryl takes care of it. And then poor Aslan got stuck on a telephone pole.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I like him.
Yeah, I liked him. And it kind of reminded me, did you guys ever watch Supernatural?
Of course.
I've never seen it.
And you know how Dean finally ended?
No, I don't.
All right, well, do you
Spoil
care
it.
if
I
I
don't
say
care.
it?
No, I don't care. Go
Well,
ahead.
basically, he's fighting, and he gets pushed back against like a piece of rebar
It's like
sticking out,
yeah.
and gets impaled on that. In a simple vampire fight. It wasn't, anything major. It wasn't like end of the world, darkness, falling, evil spirits, or it wasn't anything like that. But him getting stuck by the telephone pole with whatever was sticking out of it, it's like that kind of gave me those vibes. Like, I was fighting, and and then something stupid happened, and I got stabbed in the back by a telephone pole. So you got to watch those telephone poles.
Uh,
And he warned
I
Daryl
agree.
about it. So that was a shame. I was kind of sad to see him go. And so he gives Daryl the watch, and the next morning they go to get on the boat. Who wants to react to that?
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Daryl's reaction.
Oh, no, I'm not either.
But but I get why Laurent did what he did, and like cut it short. It kind of like with Daryl, it's like, okay, I had gone through the same thing too, with Beth, and with people who, even with Rick, where he thought that he had died. Like anybody who I get even close with Connie, if I get close to someone, then they leave. So when he heard Laurent's reason of him doing it, which was a dumb reason, not saying it was a good reason, it was a dumb reason for him to cut the rope and what have you. But I'm not mad at Daryl, being mad, because after all that time of Laurent being, this kind of like angsty teen, and you had to put up with that. Sometimes you got to put your foot down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna call them you little idiot.
You little
And
shit,
you
you
don't
worthless.
and you don't like that feeling when you call either your kid or your nieces and nephews, when they make you mad and whatnot. But when you realize what you did is wrong and how you come off, yeah, you apologize for that. But I'm not mad at it.
But you realize they wouldn't have gotten caught if Laurent had just not fucking cut the rope. They would have been on the boat. They would have been much further along. Unlikely that they would have gotten caught by those people, if they just had a friggin' boat and weren't having to walk because of Laurent. So
I agree. Like his reason of doing that, he shouldn't have done it. But it's like I understand why, but at the same time, no, honey, no. You could have just talked to me that evening about like you don't want me to leave. Say that, but don't cut the rope, which is one ticket way for you to go to the nest, the bird's nest.
Yep.
I mean, but I understand it, and Daryl understood it too, because. But at the same time, I'm like, Laurent, do that one more time, I would throw your ass in the creek water. Okay. I love you, baby, but you know what? Do that one more time, I'll throw your ass in the creek water. Don't play with me. Okay. Yeah, Laurent is a bit annoying, but
yes.
I mean, it's they're playing it realistically. I mean, Laurent's been sheltered by nuns, and now this is his first taste of freedom, and he's kind of acting out and doing stupid things as a kid would. I mean, not every kid could be Judith Grimes, because
Oh no.
Judith is like super sharp. She wouldn't have done shit like that.
Oh no.
RJ, on the other hand,
Stop.
RJ probably would have done that shit, but you know, it's annoying, but yeah, he had reasons for doing it, and I do kind of like the way Daryl kind of apologized for being quite so harsh, but I'd still be bad, and you know, it's Laurent's fault that they got caught. But I do want to back up a moment, because Laurent asked Daryl about his friends, and he talked about RJ and Judith, and he talked about Connie was the first adult name out of his mouth, and then Ezekiel, and then Carol. And it was hilarious how Laurent was like, you know, God, please watch over RJ and Judith in America, and Connie and Ezekiel and Carol. I'm doing this because Daryl doesn't know how to pray.
He's annoying, but Laurent is a good kid. He is a good kid, but you know, he has his flaws, and you know, I like Laurent. You know, it's just like you got to think.
He is a good kid, but he can be fucking annoying at times.
Yeah, that's what I said, Governor.
I'm agreeing with you. Yeah. Stupid decisions. He's sometimes a stupid kid.
Yeah.
That
We are,
works.
and people have that in the family. You know, sometimes I pop off at the mouth.
I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah. And you know, people can't stand that. And you know, you get some people who don't. You know, and Laurent is one of those people who, you know, sometimes you want to.
Pop him one.
Am I telling something about my family who want to push me in the creek? Oh my gosh. Now I understand. Okay, never mind. I'm talking about myself. Never mind.
So yeah, it's though I did find it interesting. For once, Daryl couldn't sneak up on a seasoned soldier and just take him out like it was nothing. He tried, but you know, that guy was alert, and Daryl ended up, you know, it's like, oh shit, oh you mean this, my flail? I wasn't gonna do nothing with that. What are you talking about?
He did. He dropped that real quick. Like, I'm like, God damn. God. Daryl?
Ginny and Laurent need some tough love, Winter Spies. They gotta stop being so reckless. Ginny?
Yeah. Yeah. From Dead City? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
forgot all
That's it.
about her.
No gentle parenting in this apocalyptic world. We ain't doing that. I'm sorry. You know, there's sometimes you got to do gentle parenting, but there's sometimes you got to be tough. And that's how I was raised.
Well,
So
Ella and Laurent are
I tell you to stay, you stay.
very similar in some ways, but Ella's also a lot more like Judith. Because Judith knows her shit. Yeah, Daryl stepped on a stick, and around turned that prick, and he got caught. That's where it's at. So it looks like Jeanette is trying to get Laurent, now that she's caught him, to support her, to basically, you know, pretend that he's on her side, so that way all the rebels will be like, oh, okay, well, Jeanette's not bad after all. She's just trying to equalize things.
Yeah.
She did have some interesting points about the old world and the elites. It sounded a little bit like right-wing stuff, but at the same time, it also sounded a little bit like French Revolution stuff, which, you know, it's like, when you look at who she just threw in prison, because
Don't die on us now.
Oh,
I'll
19.
try not to. No promises. So then, yeah.
She's the elite, though. I'm like, you're talking about yourself.
Well,
It's you.
well,
Thank
who was
you.
definitely the elite was Quinn. You know, it's
Right? And literally, her and Quinn were trading paintings last week. You're the elite, the both of you.
Yeah.
right.
If
Though
you
we
say
don't.
you not-
We haven't seen where she lives though. It's like she might have all these things. I'm not defending her. I'm just saying it's the possibility that she doesn't live high on the hog like Quinn, because she's got a fucking mansion, servants, guards, you know, gets fresh eggs, all that wonderful stuff. And so we haven't seen really what Jeanette doesn't seem like. I think she has an appreciation for the finer things, but she doesn't seem like she's the kind who's trying to like. She's got like a mission in her head, and that is what she's concentrating on. I'm not saying she's not kind of wealthy by the standards of that world, but it doesn't seem like she's flaunting it like Quinn. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that. But she is definitely top of the food chain, and she won't miss a meal.
Cleo said that woman is just like the governor. Really?
Yes.
She is not nearly as charismatic as me. She's
Oh,
lying
now
to people
no.
and putting the alive against the unalive. Well, I will say, you know, I did pit Daryl against some biters, you know, so I did give him, you know, his brother to help. So it was more of an entertainment. But
It's sick.
hey, are you not entertained?
I mean, no.
Okay,
I don't
well
like-
then stop watching the goddamn show. That's what I'm saying.
I don't like seeing siblings fighting each other. You know, I don't like fighting
They
with my
fought
sister.
with each other.
Well,
Not
with
against
almost
each other.
against. Well, didn't they fought one another at one point? Oh, Merle and Daryl.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Weren't they faking? Because, you know, I didn't sense that they were that into fighting each other. But yeah, so yeah, she's trying to get Laurent to endorse her as a candidate. Again, I haven't seen where she lives. I'm sure she's not living in a hovel, but, you know, she seems more about the mission. And she seems a little fanatical, and she's trying to use lots of buzzwords, you know, Free France, Vive la France, you know, to kind of get the people on her side. And she wants to use Laurent as a tool to get those who are more against her to be like, okay, well, if Laurent likes her, though he doesn't seem to know how to be deceptive and be like, oh, sure, I'll play along, and then, you know, stab her in the back. Because he's just a sweet, innocent boy.
Well, too, and because Isabelle dubbed him as the second coming of Messiah, so you know, as a Messiah, you don't lie. You tell it like it is. So maybe he, you know, just, you know, he's like, he's the type of person, I don't like you, I'm not gonna lie. Hell, you know, why? You know, so, but if he wasn't if Isabelle hadn't put that pressure on him, maybe he would have lied and be deceiving towards Jeanette. But, you know, he thinks of himself as the second highest power. And of course, you're not gonna lie. Feel sorry for the kid. Lie. No, don't lie. Don't listen to me.
Does he really think of himself as that, or does he just think that, you know, he's going to be a leader, or, you know, he's being groomed to be a leader? I don't know exactly what he knows. You know, it's like, but at the same time, how does someone who is born from immaculate conception in a barn with three wise men equate to being born from definitely not immaculate conception out of the body of a biter? I don't see exactly the parallel. Is it kind of a miracle that the baby survived when the mother
Like a
turned?
miracle baby, you know.
Right, but that
maybe
doesn't necessarily mean, Messiah.
yeah, but I think equate with the miracleness. Like Jesus wasn't like a miracle baby from God, and in a way with Isabel's mindset, he's a miracle baby blessed by God. He could have died, in his mama's belly, but he didn't. So, oh my goodness, maybe that. I don't know. I don't know what not Laurent, Izzy was thinking.
He's the second coming.
Like, like he's a second coming. If he can survive this, he can survive all of it. He can heal the sick. He can heal something like that. I don't know.
I haven't seen one actual miracle. I've seen some great empathy on his part. I've seen an open heart, an open spirit. I think he's a great kid. I think, being raised by nuns might do that to you, no matter if you were born from the body of a biter or not. But as far as, I'm not buying the second coming stuff. I haven't seen one miracle. He has not walked on water. He has not provided any wine made out of water. None of this stuff. If he had that one fish that he caught, or two fish, and then he said, here, now we have 10, then I'd believe it. But, I
He's just a kid. He's just a kid. A miracle baby. At least,
got to
like
be
Elle,
30 in order to do miracles. There's like an age.
No, because I'm a miracle baby. Because my mother almost had a miscarriage with me. So yeah. So you can be a miracle baby. That's all he was. Like Ellie, she's a miracle baby. Lo and behold, so anybody can be a miracle, child. If let's just say if the child had, was born and it didn't breathe for like hours and hours, but all of a sudden it breathes, that's a miracle. You're a miracle child. So he is. But he ain't the Messiah.
Jack is in the chat, by the way, and he says, damn, I couldn't send him in this episode, Kyle. I'm imagining that he's talking about Laurent.
Yeah, he's probably talking about Laurent.
I mean, there's other people you kind of like, don't like, but even Quinn's more charming. Yeah, well.
Okay.
Winterfire just said that she came out of her mom with her cord wrapped around her neck.
Yeah.
Which actually
Miracle.
brings me back to when Quinn said, hey, let's have your sister be dropped off at somewhere where there's like medical care. If any of those situations happened to Laurent, in his mind, maybe he was thinking that's the best place for him because, yeah. But I'm just, again, playing a little devil's advocate for Quinn. The kid was getting my life. Yeah, Jack, we've already determined that it's entirely Laurent's fault that they got caught.
I was just like, where are you, Jack?
We gotta talk about it, y'all.
Jack is here. It's like not enough to type. And he must have finished eating. You are so dark, though, dude. You need some illumination.
I'm working on it. I just turned my computer on. Give me a second.
I'm kind of digging that, darkness and whatnot. Hey, Halloween.
So Bebe is saying, Jack, that she likes the fact that she couldn't see you very clearly.
I'm used to that.
No.
All right.
Man. I'm not gonna chitty chatter rant too long and keep you here too long, Kyle. I was very annoyed, and I understand the talking points for Laurent and that he was raised by the nuns and he might be a good person, but that's not what we're looking for right now. And all the ominous philosophical chatter is okay every once in a while, but when it's your whole personality, that's not good, to at least in my opinion. And
Of course it's not, but the kid knows nothing else.
I know. but that doesn't mean I can't be upset that that's the case.
No, for sure.
I'm not blaming him for not knowing anything else. I just have incredible disdain for the fact that that's the case.
Mhm.
So it's not
blame
that
the
I'm
nuns.
blaming, I'm not necessarily blaming him for that, but
Mm.
I very, like, with my whole ass chest, said I would almost rather the world beyond kids right now over this kid.
Oh wow, that is
That's
that is
that is
extremely
no,
disrespectful.
that is
Nah, that's too much. Too much.
bro. I was not having it.
Nah, those are words you say when you're angry. You're not gonna. You're not
at
gonna
least he
think
didn't
that
go
way
to
in,
the
like, a week.
level of like the season 5 Fear Kid.
I right after
Oh
I
my
said the world
God.
beyond kids, I thought about it. I'm
Those
like,
kids
would I
don't
prefer
exist.
him over the fear kids right now? Yeah, I still prefer him over the fear kids. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go that far.
Yeah,
But
there are levels. But Erica's like, no, not the world beyond kids.
it was a mess. I mean, I did thoroughly enjoy this one more than the last two for sure. The last two were a real step down for me. Like, I had a lot of problems with the last two, but this one was I liked the directing of this one a lot more. Whereas I feel like the two before this, there were a lot of very clunky directing instances. So it wasn't necessarily
and Daryl
story.
just standing there while it's cracking and not even making an attempt to jump was kind of like,
Yes.
really?
I had more issues with the Walker direction, honestly, than anything, because I was into double digits with how many walkers I was counting that were literally standing in place, not moving, and then like just suddenly clearing an opening of like a circle for them to fight them in. I'm like,
Right.
no, that like I'm thinking back to Tyrese and in season 6, like with the quarry breaking out, like that's not how they work. They don't just stand there and like lift a leg up, lift the other leg up in place. No, they go for you. And they were not going for anybody in the last two episodes. Whereas this one, they were going for people. So
Yeah.
and especially at the end there, which I don't know if you guys got to that point yet, but oof, I was
We're just
real
about to
hype.
the end, but yeah, I would say that the betas on the in the U.S. were fine. Maybe it's the French. Maybe it's the French betas. They're just like they're lazy. They're like, I will get over there to chomp them in a moment. I'm going to finish my cigarette. I am taking my time. I am French. We are not going to be barbarians about this. I will chew on his neck very
Oh
slowly.
my gosh.
Whereas, American biters are like, arr, arr, that guy looks like McDonald's, arr, so, yeah, but Laurent, I think it's his upbringing, his sheltered upbringing, and not realizing, he hasn't had to face the hard truths of like having to do stuff that he didn't want to do. I think he was a little bit pampered in the convent.
Definitely.
Honestly, he reminds me of a combination of Sam, Mika, and Benjamin.
Okay.
Sam
Like
in a way.
Sam's naivety, Mika's overly optimistic attitude, and then Benjamin just the do good, feel good attitude all the time. Like I feel like
see that.
each not like they weren't necessarily by themselves bad traits to have, but when you put all of them together, they do not inspire confidence in terms of long-term survival. Like when he started talking about the fish, I'm like, boy, you're like if a vegan lasted in the like you would not be still kicking right now. Like you need to suck it up and just
Eat
like
some
it
goddamn flesh.
Daryl
Well, I mean,
doesn't teach
he
people
did
his
pretty fast too. He did agree to go
Yeah.
by it. It's just a matter of like
if
kind
he
of
would have
putting him in the right
to
direction,
that,
you know?
Oh, I would have been so heated if
'Cause
he
it's
just like died on that hill of
Yeah.
I can't do that. Like then you're gonna starve to death. Sorry, bud. Like
And I
I'll
like
sit
how
here and eat
Daryl's
this
the
fish in
first
front of
person
you.
to tell him that.
yeah, like
That's almost like the whole people in like I said in Alexandria before Rick and them had arrived. there at Alexandria because they didn't. Well, they
They're
had
like,
some
we'll be
people
fine.
They're the
looking
same.
out in the woods, be a lookout
Yeah.
a little bit, but they ain't had no training
Yeah.
of the outside world. So if you tell them,
Yeah.
hey, do this to the fish, they'd be like, oh no, not I. If you want to survive, yes, you do. So stick that needle up the fish's butt at the mouth and roast it.
Damn.
Well, it's more of a stick, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care.
The other thing with Laurent's whole, I can't eat an animal, but you're perfectly content sitting there and luring an animal to bite into something and have a hook go into its mouth, and you're going to yank it out of its natural environment and reel it in.
Yeah.
So you're going to torture the fish, but you're not going to eat it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I have questions. Like,
I'm-
are you going to eat it, or like, why you kill the fish? Are you a serial killer? You just no. I'm just because like if you fish, you want to eat, but if you're gonna fish and you're not gonna do anything to it, I have questions. Maybe I watched too many documentaries or whatnot.
Well, I mean, I'm
That's
not a
like-
big
what's her
fan
name?
of sport
Lizzie?
fishing or sport hunting. If you're hunting for food, if you're fishing for food, that's fine. If you're gonna go fishing just so you can mount it on a plate and put it on your wall, and you're not eating it, if it's not for food, then what's your point? So
Thank you.
and in apocalypse you don't go sports fishing. I'm sorry.
No.
You just don't. You go fishing for food. You don't waste your time fishing if you're not going to eat it.
Yeah.
But all right. So Jeanette's making her speech. She's telling Laurent, you better support me or else bad things are going to happen. And then, I don't know if it's entertainment or what, but they put Daryl in a little, like, arena thing. Kind of reminded me of, where did that happen recently?
It's kind of like I know in Dead City they put him in the UFC.
Yeah,
they were in
the UFC
Octagon.
cage. Yeah, there's been other situations.
Fear. It was like a season or two ago. There was some stuff going on in the wrestling ring.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was pretty wild. That was actually entertaining, but putting
Yeah.
slight vibes of Ragnarok.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Don't remind me.
Yeah.
I liked Ragnarok. It was Love and Thunder that was kind of meh.
It barely has a leg up on Love and Thunder.
Well, I haven't seen Love and Thunder. So I
But
love Ragnarok.
yeah, and then
It reminded me of the Gulag, honestly. Like the
Okay,
second I
yeah.
saw them shove him in there, I'm like, damn, they're sending him to the Gulag? Because like everyone's up in like the upper level, like watching and cheering it on. I'm like, it's a little weird, but okay.
it kind of reminded me a little bit of Woodbury, but at least they gave him an axe. So I was like, all
Yeah.
right, they're giving him a fighting chance. And then they put that biter in there and shoot him with that with that.
They
dart, with
roided
that
him up.
chemical. Yeah. And yeah, that's now the thing is, will his head explode in 15 seconds or whatever?
Oh, probably like if Daryl never get a chance to hit it and it explodes in front of his face, then why would they do that though?
I mean,
That's a
maybe
dumb
they've
idea.
been testing it long enough and they've tweaked it and figured it out. Because it's seemingly been a couple weeks, right? Probably.
Yeah,
Somewhat like you,
or at
yeah,
least a week, but or it could be an earlier point. The thing is, now I'm questioning because we were talking about earlier in their lab, were they trying to come up with something that would basically kill off the Bitus?
Mm-hmm.
And having
That's
its
what
head
they brought up in
explode-
World Beyond. So it makes sense.
Right, having its head explode will definitely kill a Bita. I mean, if it gets super strong at first, that's a bad side effect, but it's only for 15 seconds and then its head explodes. Or are they trying to weaponize Bitas and basically saying we're going to make it even stronger and point you at our enemies? So now I'm leaning towards that theory that they're trying to weaponize Bitus. So, but what's to keep that Bita from?
Bye,
maybe-
Karina.
Hi, Karina.
Bye.
She had to go.
Oh, she had to go.
Yeah, what's to keep that Bita from, like, if Daryl manages to, like, evade long enough and it notices one of the other people, what's to keep that Bita from not attacking one of those guards? Or did they beat a hasty retreat? I didn't see if they
I think they
all exited.
retreat.
Yeah, I think they slammed the gate.
Yeah. I was just so mad the whole time, like, you know, because I know Jeanette won Daryl, but the dude whose brother had died, you know, this is what you get for killing my brother. I was so mad at the girl who actually killed his brother.
I'm
wonder
still
if-
waiting for her to get her.
Where is she at?
She needs to be 6 feet under right now. That's what
I don't know if we'll find her. And again, I don't blame her. I don't blame her for pinning it on Daryl, because you got this guy saying, "Who killed my brother?" And you know you did, but it's like, it was the America. Of course you're going to lie to save your own ass. Come on. I'm not saying
don't
she's
be
the
ma-
best person in the
Oh
world.
my
But I don't
Come
blame her.
on. Yeah, but and at the same time, don't get mad when I'm looking for you. That's how I understand why you did it. Yeah. But you still not exempt from, you know, me doing what I want to do with you. Okay. You know, I almost got killed by that crazy walker. You know. Hey, Tamaj.
Better late than
Come
never.
on.
And then not show up.
It's
I
you're
almost
only
did.
an hour and 45 late. It's fine.
Yeah, that's my normal. You know, black folk time, y'all.
I'm not saying a word. I am not qualified to speak on that subject at all.
Yeah, it's a black privilege. I love it. I use it all the time. See, baby, now.
I know. Oh well, hold up now. Now, hold
You
up.
was late.
I'm
was late.
If I'm late, then you know I don't want to get in trouble. You know, I had to be early. I had to be there early. Okay, you know. But there's some moments I'd be late. I said, look, y'all, it's just it is what it is. I'm late. You know.
It is what it is. That's what I said. I was hungry. Sorry,
Oh
Jack.
man, of course you need to be late because you're hungry. Food comes first.
Of course.
All right, so we've pretty much covered the whole episode by this point. But do we want to go back and talk about any particular parts now that we have a couple more?
I just want to pop on and say hi. I want to hold y'all up. We ain't got to go back.
I know I talk too much, but I did want to say, because I didn't say it about the beginning, when Laurent was enjoying that music, he was like me when I hear Barney. Like, I love you, you love me.
Wait, are you a fan of Barney?
I love Barney. Barney was my childhood. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm a Sesame Street girl.
Sesame Street. Hey, either Sesame Street.
Teletubbies.
Who
Teletubbies.
are the people
Outside the
in your
box.
neighborhood?
Yeah,
In your
even Mr.
neighborhood.
Rogers.
In your
Yes. But Barney came to my mind. I'm like, I love you, you love me. We're
This is all before your time, Paul. I'm sorry.
Barney?
Yeah, I
You're a
love
youngin', all right?
I grew up with Barney,
Barney
the
was
Wiggles.
awesome.
Where you at?
Barney
You
was
were not
after my
watching
time.
What do you mean I was not watching Barney?
Yeah, we at least
Get
caught,
out
like,
of here, you
season 8.
bum.
I don't know about that.
I grew up
Wait.
with two siblings that were born like in the early
All right,
90s.
All right.
Wait,
I got the hand me down.
I-
is somebody trying to say that Busy don't know Barney? Because I know
I
that.
don't know what he's
I
talking
wasn't
about.
saying he didn't know it, but I felt like it was a little
Nah,
bit
you
before
tripping. I
his
went to a
time.
Wiggles
Wait, that's not
concert,
before
bro.
his
I
time.
don't know what you're doing, bro.
Okay,
Get
but
outta
the,
here.
You
wi-
were
the
born
Wiggles were
99,
kind of
right,
lit,
Busy?
I was born 99, but I have
Okay,
older,
so
I have
so
older
that's
siblings.
good.
But I have older siblings that I ended up like getting like the hand-me-down
I
VHS.
listened, all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
At least you know what
Yeah,
VHS tapes
come
are.
on.
Okay,
Dang.
Everybody knows.
pipe down.
You see these millennials over here. You got to get off their high horses and shit.
Hey, I'm in the
You know
middle.
what? Busy.
I'm right in the
You see this?
middle.
That's crazy.
Busy. Honestly, as a millennial, sometimes we do. We
Yeah,
really
see,
truly need. To
I
calm down
appreciate
that
you know. I
nostalgia
appreciate
kind
you
of thing,
taking
okay?
responsibility.
I'm at
So
fault
many
of that
people
too.
love Blues Clues and Steve Burns on
Oh
my
my
channel.
god, I
Blues
had
Clues. Oh,
I had
okay,
my own
okay.
handy dandy notebook. I had a crayon. I'd sit in
But
front of TV every day and watch it.
did
and
you
take my own
know
notes.
that Steve did not draw the clues?
Yeah,
Yes.
I saw your panel, man. When I found
hurt
out,
my
man,
soul.
I was crushed. I'm like, he didn't draw that? It was a woman,
Was
right?
I the only one that cried when he made that new video when he first came back?
I cried.
I've seen a lot of people have like emotional
I
breakdowns
did
because
not
of it.
watch that new video because I did not grow up with Blue's Clues. It was way after my time.
Now that was
I-
one
I-
I
You
love
act
a lot.
like
Like you're 60.
Nah, he's almost there.
Another one I love is
Close.
I
you
didn't
know,
hear.
remember Roly Polies, Jack?
Yeah,
That was close.
that reminds me.
Roly
what-
Polies went
that
crazy.
reminds me of iRobot. There was some weird like there was a weird
iRobot with Will
time
Smith.
maybe
Outer Limits.
there was some weird time period where there were some real out there movies that came out.
Oh, I remember.
Well,
iRobot.
iRobot was loosely based on Isaac Asimov stuff, so
Yeah,
But,
and then they
uh,
did an Outer Limits iRobot in the 60s and the 90s.
Okay.
Then there was a movie. Yeah, with Will
Yeah,
Smith.
just the roly poly just threw me back to reminding me of that style, and I was like, ugh. Because there's some things that were great with that style and some that were not. But I'm glad that there were more good than bad when it came to that.
Jack and Tamaj, you have a question in the chat from North of 60. They want to know what your thoughts on Carol and Daryl chat on the radio.
Y'all know I'm Carol and Daryl, y'all. Very curious.
Michonne's in the chat, by the way. She
But
says
Sean's
she,
in the chat too.
she hasn't seen
Hey.
episode 5 yet.
Then why is she in the chat?
You might.
I love
you
her,
might
but-
wanna- I love you, Michonne, but you got to get out.
Michonne.
We're
She's
gonna
got a
talk
habit of
Hey,
spoilers.
Michonne.
unintentionally spoiling
Michonne.
herself.
Unless
We
you
love
want
but-
some spoilers, run.
She don't like spoilers, so
No, she does not.
I don't either. So
Okay, I mean, I feel like it is too obvious for it to be Rick and Michelle. I feel like that's, and one, Carol probably would have been a little more excited about it and would have led with that. Not just,
Yeah.
oh, things are good. Oh, by the way, Rick's back. Like, no, she would have led
We
with
kind
that.
of had
Tomato.
that same thought.
Yeah.
Tamaj, what are
Also-
you eating? She wants to know.
Why?
She said tomato, but I'm saying Tamaj.
He said she want to know what tomato is eating.
I'm eating a chicken slider with bacon and pepper jack cheese, and then I have
That
mozzarella
sound good.
sticks and
I
French
don't think
fries.
she likes
And then
bacon.
Beer, of course. You know.
Oh, love it.
Tomage. That's what she said.
She said, "Yo, what's tomato eating?"
Jesus.
She said Tomage.
So you would think that you're talking about me because of how red I usually am, but no, not today. I feel
No,
like
that's
Carol
funny.
wouldn't have no. Carol wouldn't have mentioned struggling to like get used to Rick being back. Carol didn't have that many issues with Rick. Like before she mentioned that they came back, she mentioned that they were trying to get used to something or something along those
Well,
lines.
Used to not having to fight for the life every week.
Okay, but she was at Commonwealth for a while before that, though. Like, they were at Commonwealth for almost a year, I think, with, like, how long the time jumps were. Because they had the 1 6-month jump just out the blue in the middle of season 11. So, I mean, they were there a while. So that shouldn't be that foreign to her. So, and that's if she even is still at Commonwealth. We don't know. She could be back at Alexandria or whatever. But so I made it because I made a tweet about it. So I had like notes on it. And I was saying that she would have led with it, like you guys said. It seems a little too obvious that it'd be Rick and Michonne. And I made the point about her saying it was something to get used to. I feel like Morgan would make more sense because her and Morgan were beefing like half the
Yes.
time that they were together. So him being back and potentially having whatever philosophy he may have when he returns, that was always something that her and him were kind of butting heads with. So I feel like that would make sense. Or
Yeah,
And
but he's
also
far
the-
from the, let's save the
yeah,
wolves.
yeah. No, I get that, but that doesn't mean that she automatically knows that. But
I
also-
think you might be reading too much into the whole getting used to things. It's like maybe getting used to Daryl not being around, getting used to,
Or everybody not being around. I mean, Maggie.
There
eventually
have
went
been
used to a whole
people
new-
speculating that
I don't know,
her
Daryl.
saying that like getting used to or whatever, that it wasn't about Morgan or whatever, but that she seemed semi somber or like manufactured happiness because Rick came back, but Michonne died on the way, and I'm like, I'm really
that's
hoping
crazy.
that's not the
Well,
case.
we're not even gonna
They
I
wouldn't do
think
that.
again she
No,
would have led
I'm
with Rick is
hoping-
back. You don't have to
They
be out there
definitely
anymore.
wouldn't do
Yeah,
that.
like, so that's the other thing is she wouldn't have him chasing him if he was back. So
Right.
I don't know. And
Yeah,
some
it's
people were
probably
thinking like
Morgan or
Dwight and
Dwight.
Sherry, and I'm like,
Bye, Michonne.
I don't think she had much interaction with Dwight. So I don't know why there would be anything to get used to. Like she didn't have. It was kind of like with Negan initially. Like she might have heard bad stuff, but they didn't really have a lot of interaction or screen time together. So we don't really know if there was actually any depth to the potential conflict that they had.
No, I don't
So
think
it has
Carol
to be
talked to
Morgan.
any characters.
So it
Not
has to
really.
be Morgan.
Yeah, I don't
It was
even know if she
Department
shared a
Fighter.
scene with Dwight. But yeah, I don't know. It was odd. I feel like they definitely didn't record her saying a name as much as people want to claim they heard ick. I don't think they
didn't
recorded
hear
her
it, no.
saying a name. I think
No.
they recorded her just saying that end part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Melissa's
had-
not necessarily one to spoil stuff, so I don't think even if they had her record a name, I don't think that it would have been a problem. But
I talked
they
to
could have had her
Carol.
record any name, but
yeah,
it doesn't really matter because in posts they're gonna make sure that the name is
Mhm.
obscured and you can't figure it out. I think
But
it's,
Tamaj, we didn't hear your point though.
Oh, I was talking with Carrie after I reacted and everything, and we were talking about it, and she had a great theory. And what if it was
Carrie?
Carrie, yeah, you know
Okay.
Carrie.
Yeah, I was.
She was saying, what if Jadis returned? Like we know, obviously Rick's gonna escape at some point, right? What if she came there trying to get ahead of them and seeing if that's where they went, and she's like there to kind of spy or get ahead and wait for them there? I thought that was an amazing theory.
Then we need to have a
Yeah,
new
that's
spin-off.
but we would need more time to explore that in the shows because the Rick Michonne show is only going to have 6 episodes, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah,
So
so I
another
don't
spin-off.
think they're going to go that in depth with it. Unfortunately, as much as I would like them to, I don't think they're going to. But out of all the crazy theories for it, I think I like that one the best. That one seems like it.
When I
But
heard it.
and I
Heath.
know why you like it because I was going to say Heath. I
Heath
threw
is
it out
fine
there.
in
I
the
think
back.
it'd be hilarious if it was Heath. But
Oh
someone
my
got
God.
super like aggressive and argumentative in my replies on Twitter when I was just like, oh, these are some reasons I think it might not be Rick Michonne. They're like, there's no possible way to at all, and they're just going crazy. I'm like, damn, like it wasn't that serious shit.
Somebody's
Oh, you
always
know
on
it.
your
I know, I'm used to it at this point. But Tamaj, I know why you like that theory. It's because there's a lot of mess to be had with it, and a lot of drama and a lot of tea. And I know you like the tea and the drama.
You know I do, and you know I love a CRM connection.
And that's why I was scouring every frame of those scenes with the like militant soldier people in this episode. I'm like, just show me an insignia. Just show me the 3 rings. Just show me something. I'm like, I just please, like I just want something, and they just didn't give any of it.
they exist
Only
to
thing
make
we
you
got
guys
was that
frustrated.
Sixth Republic reference. That was it. And I'm like, ugh. I'm like, I don't know.
I
if
see. I
that's
didn't even
reach.
pick up on that until I was editing, which
Yeah, she said
annoyed
this
me.
is the Sixth Republic, and I'm like, ooh. So I don't know, y'all. But I feel like if Jeanette is gonna go with this whole France is the mighty power, and we're gonna unleash these variant walkers on people, the CRM is going to know about them eventually. I feel like they might even do a big rival thing because you got Croette over in Dead City trying to make the Saviors 2.0. You got Jeanette in France trying to make her big debut with her French army. And then you got the CRM doing whatever they're doing in America and wiping out communities and shit.
Yes.
I feel like it could be a massive like world war between these communities that have all these vast resources.
It would be
World
a
War W.
massive miss on AMC's part if they didn't choose to do that. I
Right?
think they would severely be missing out. And what was all this build up for if not for that?
Mm-hmm.
Like it just seems like that's the logical
And it's-
place to go.
And it's better than the generic, just the CRM as this massive villain that everybody got to come together and beat. I feel like that would be more interesting when there's multiple enemies, on these different fronts. We all made different enemies with them. So, they're after Daryl, CRM's after Rick and Michonne, Croette, and then I don't know if they're going to come after Maggie or not. Maybe when she busts Negan out of whatever he's in. But you know what I mean? It might be an interesting setup.
I saw the whole reason why Jeanette's after Daryl. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Yes, he caused some chaos on your boat and, got some of your people killed, but obviously you gained control. It's not like he knew the name of your organization and is going to go around blabbing, he didn't know anything, so why bother hunting him down? It seems a
And how
lot
did
of
they know he even
resources.
died?
What's that?
Or did not die? How did they even know he didn't die? Like, not like
Because,
anybody had time to talk. And everything blew
Well, that's
up.
true.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
Did one
And I don't even remember him
person in the
giving-
beginning
Yeah,
say that?
that he was overboard, and they're just like, you didn't see him die though. Like we need to see it. So
Yeah, but again, someone with no resources in the middle of the ocean,
maybe they knew about his plot armor.
that could be it.
But
But otherwise, it's like, it just seems like, oh, he did us wrong, we're going to hunt him down. No matter how many of our people it gets killed in the meantime. He's already done a bunch of damage. Let's give him the opportunity to do more.
It be making no sense. We be trying to mind our business, y'all. That's what I be talking about. We be minding our business, and they come after us. It's just the audacity. And then we fuck up they shit. They mad. Like,
Yeah, because it's like what she said about, like, we need to get rid of those who are our enemies, who is ruining society. I said, but you are the one that is ruining your own society. Daryl didn't do anything but minding his business. But I don't like it. It's like, if I
I'm trying to get gas. Like, I want to go home. Like, that's the thing. We always be ready to just go home. Somebody always fucking us up. Like, leave me alone. It's crazy.
But I'm so mad at like that Daryl didn't, like,
Those mud sticks, Tamaj.
Yes, I love
Very
Sheets'
jealous.
Oh, what's that?
From Sheets, mozzarella sticks.
Oh my gosh, I'm hungry. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
me too.
I bullied Jack. I had to.
Yeah.
But sometimes I want Daryl just to get that whatever. I forgot, because I know we had this on the trivia, that we were a little launcher.
Yeah, the rocket
in season
launcher.
6. Yeah, that
RPG.
season 6 with some of the saviors. I just want him to grab that so bad and just like bomb Jeanette and what have you, and just like, because I'm tired of Jeanette and her crew and what. I'm just like,
man, baby, I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's insane.
I know, right?
As long as you keep watching SOA, you're gonna have to deal with that for a while.
It seems to me that it would not be that difficult to assassinate Jeanette.
She seemed weak.
Right.
Too.
And
Izzy still got that shiv. She might pull something off.
maybe, I don't know, didn't she change?
All right,
for the,
busy.
Right, busy.
Peace out, everyone.
Busy.
Goodbye.
They're dropping like flies. It is getting late. It's this has been
I
running
know,
for an hour.
I was gonna
Fifty
say
minutes.
I'm
15
starving, Kyle. I can't.
I need to get
hang
some
too
food
long.
as well.
I made everybody hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah,
You're
you
welcome.
bastard. I might have to hit Wawa. We don't have Sheets around here. Sheets, I gotta go. Is when I go to Steel City.
Yeah, I don't have sheets. By
We got the grill on right now. Like my parents are waiting for me to make my food so that we can turn it off. Like,
Sir, ain't it late?
Like they ate dinner and they're like, we'll just leave it on for you. I'm like, okay, well, it's gonna
Isn't
be a
it
minute.
like almost 10 p.m. where you are?
Yes, they ate at like 8.
Oh, that's
Using
right.
a lot of gas for no reason.
You're right.
Could have turned it, relit it up.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, a couple of us have already left, but final thoughts and shameless self-promotion, Miss Kayla. Start us off.
All right, y'all. I'm Kayla. I go by Miss Kayla on YouTube, and I go by Miss Kayla Gaming on Twitch. Make sure y'all go follow me on Twitch and subscribe to me on YouTube. Right now, I'm playing Mortal Kombat 1. It's lit. Like, oh my God, it's so good. But that's all I'm really playing right now. But occasionally going back to Call of Duty. But yeah, but this episode was so good. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to watch it again. Like, it was really, really good. Like, I can't wait to see the next episode. Can't wait to see what happens next. But yeah, that's all I got going on right now. Just no Mortal Kombat 1 on my Twitch right now. So yeah.
It is tempting to call on Tomaj because he's eating, but I'll go with Bebe.
Why me? Just kidding. I'm Bebe. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, dim_mayhem. I really enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed the flashbacks. I'm still waiting. I know we're not gonna get it this season. They're gonna have a second season. I want Sylvie's backstory. I do want to know about her backstory, but I can't wait for next episode, final episode. Sad though, but it flew. I wish they had like 6 more, so that's it.
Jack's world, pretty much everywhere. Lights burnt out on this, but I'll get it working next time. Have all the uncut stuff up on Patreon. Going to be doing the same with all the rest of the Walking Dead shows and more shows to come soon. I'm very much looking forward to the finale for this. Hopefully, in agreement with Tomaj, we get some CRM tie-ins because we need them. We've been waiting for them. We've been asking for them. We've been patient, but time to deliver. AMC, let's go.
You might have to wait for the next series.
I know.
Tomaj.
Y'all can find me at Big Bro and Lil Sis React. Y'all know I'm reacting to all y'all favorite shows and more. But I'm really excited to see what the finale holds for us, y'all. I really have enjoyed this series a lot. It's hit on a couple points that I really wanted, like the variants and everything. We got multiple villains, multiple great characters that we love. To Bebe's point, Sylvie, yes, love her. I hope that they don't kill her off in the finale because you know how them relationships go. So I hope we keep her and continue her story going. I was hyped to see her in 5. Hopefully they can stop writing Laurent like a regular Walking Dead child that just does annoying ass shit. Because
at least he's not feeding rats to bite us.
Yeah, it's never as low as Lizzie. Lizzie's as low as you can go. Let's just pray he stays near like Judith level, or gets there anyway. But yeah, I'm looking forward to more Walking Dead universe stuff, y'all. Y'all know I'm here for fear and everything that comes after. Even if I'm shit talking it, I'm still here for y'all.
All right, and of course I am the governor here on Fandom Spotlight. We got lots more videos coming out over time, so just keep watching, and we'll be back to cover this finale, which I do have to say this episode was quite enjoyable. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they wrap it up. I'm not looking forward to Fear, so I don't know that we're going to be even doing meetings about Fear.
Honestly, the trailer looked kind of fire. As much as it's been trash.
Finale.
At least
The trailer looks pretty good.
All right, maybe. I don't know. When does Fear start up again?
On the 22nd.
Right after Daryl, the week after.
22nd.
I don't know. I kind of need a break.
Maybe just the finale.
Yeah, maybe we'll do talk about the whole last half of the season. Do like a send off, a requiem, so to speak, for Fear the Walking Dead. Because I do have to say that the Daryl Dixon series thus far has been the best of the spin-offs, and I am including Fear and World Beyond in that. Even though it's only been 6 episodes, I've been much more entertained. Dead City, probably second. And I'm not going to rate the other ones. But we'll be back next week to talk about the finale. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And try to stay out of trouble out there. And thanks for a lot of regulars showing up. Glad to see you, Erica, North of 60, Winter Fire, Portrait of a Lady, Cleo, absolutely, and
and Alex, she was in the chat. Yeah.
Well, she came after her cousin's game. I don't know. Still supporting family. Whatever. We don't play that here.
After cousin's game.
She was at her cousin's soccer game. Anyways. We will see you guys next week. Governor and this amazing crew, we are out. Everyone look awkward. Come on, you can do better than that.
Christmas tree.